If I were to ask you, what do you think are the things that have most influence on our feelings of well-being? I reckon most of us would say relationships. It makes sense, doesn't it? That how we're going, how our relationships are with the other people in our world are going to affect how we feel about how life is going more generally. It might also be that you would say it's the people that we're closest to that would have the most impact. And certainly that is very true. Those kind of 5 to 10 people that are closest to us, that we spend most time with, has been shown to fundamentally influence not only how we feel, but also how we think and how we see the world. It's also shown that physical health moves through social networks. There's been beautiful research and a study called the Framingham Heart Study that has looked at that. And that same data set showed how emotions move through social networks as well. So certainly those 5 to 10 people that we spend most time with have a fundamental influence on how we see the world and how well we feel. Interestingly, though, it does go beyond that. Research by a lady called Susan Pinker found that it's not just those closest networks that influence our health and well-being. In fact, her study suggests that it's the next layer out that actually influences it the most. And this speaks to all the research that there is around a sense of belonging as part of a community, whether that's a community at work, whether that's a community in your volunteering, whether it's literally your kind of village community where you live. I found the easiest way to get to the heart of this, what are we talking about with this larger group, not your closest kind of 5 to 15 people, is would I be missed if I wasn't there? Would somebody notice? It's not that they're missing me and pining for me, but would somebody notice that I wasn't at that fitness class that I go to, or I wasn't at the library that day, or I hadn't gone along to the cafe that morning, or whatever your equivalent of that is? So these are not necessarily your closest relationships, but they are these different villages that we're part of. So for me, it would be my group fitness class every morning. I go there most days. And so when I'm not there, often the next class I go to will the instructor will say to me, "Oh, I didn't see you yesterday or on Thursday. Where were you? Have you been away?" And that's a signal to me that somebody noticed and that I was missed. And that gives me a sense of belonging. Now, it's really useful for us to think about, well, hang on, what villages am I even a part of? And that's what we're going to explore in this video. So the resource with this video gives us a chance to map our relationships network. So you can see that there's you in the middle, and the circles around the edge give you a space to put the different villages that you're part of. Now, obviously, family, friends, yeah, absolutely include those, but also go wider than that. You could include work. That's a village that you're part of, any volunteering work, any social groups that you're a member of. Perhaps you're part of a gaming community. Perhaps like me, you do some kind of yoga or fitness, or you're in a walking group, a running group. Maybe you play a group sport, a team sport. List all of those in your relationships network and understand this is your network, right? So you might not fill all of these circles, or you might find that you're having to add more, and that's absolutely fine. Now, what I'd like you to do is, once you've filled in what villages you're part of, is think about the specific people that you have most contact with. So as I think about my group fitness, there are probably 2 or 3 people that I generally kind of train with, and instructors that I'll have a conversation with. And as I think about my experience there, they are the specific people in that village that I have a connection with. As you think about maybe your family, are there people within your kind of collective village of family that you have more contact with? Maybe there are siblings that you're more in touch with, or cousins or aunts or uncles. Who are the people that within each village you connect to most frequently, feel most connected to, have the closest relationships with? Now, once you've done that, it's a chance for us to think about how might we want to invest in these relationships. And I found there are 3 ways for us to think about investing in relationships. The first is the quantity of time. So it might be with some of the relationships that you identify within your villages, you realize that actually, I don't spend enough time with that person. I really want to spend more time connecting with my cousin or that friend, or I want to deepen that relationship that at the moment is just a passing one because we're in the same sporting group. But actually, I really like that person. I want to see if we could develop a friendship. So maybe you want to spend more time with one of the people within your villages, or maybe a few. So the quantity of time is one. The quality of time is the next. So this may be that actually, yeah, we spend time together. I don't know that that is high quality time. Maybe it's kind of the thing that I often think about as I think about this quality of mind piece is, yeah, we're sitting together, but actually we're just both watching TV. There isn't actually a lot of connection going on. Or maybe it's family dinner time, but everyone's on devices. So yes, we're spending that, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour together, but there isn't very much kind of quality connecting going on. So have a look at those relationships, those specific relationships. And is there a quality of relationship that you'd like to invest in with any of those people? And then the third way, so we've done quantity of time, quality of time. And the third one is there a specific skill that would really be an investment for this relationship? And so, for example, I have two teenage daughters. And at one stage, I asked my youngest daughter, hey, can you talk me through TikTok? Because I had no idea about TikTok. And she was talking about it a lot with her older sister. And so I felt that this was something where if I invested in understanding a bit more about TikTok, it would give us a connection point that we didn't currently have. I've had a beautiful story from a client of mine who he was really into golf. And his wife agreed to take some golf lessons. And now they spend every Friday afternoon going to various golf courses, having lunch, and then having 9 holes together. And it's a beautiful connection point and a way that they have chosen to invest in that relationship through the specific skill. And she skilled up in terms of her golf. So we've got 3 investment strategies. We've got quantity of time, we've got quality of time, and then we've got this third one, which is there an investment in terms of a specific relational skill? And if there was, what might that be? Like I identified TikTok, my client identified golf. What might yours be? So now I want you to have a think about, you've got those 3 investment strategies. You've identified your villages and the specific people that you connect with within those villages. How might you want to use those investment strategies in the next 12 months to really give the focus and attention to relationships that you want to, that's aligned with how you want to be, who you want to be, and where you want your focus and attention to be? And as you think about that, write down what that could look like in terms of where you want to focus, quality of time, quantity of time, and maybe even a specific relational skill. Enjoy thinking about your relationships and how they can support you and bring you joy in this next 12 months.